Never confuse interest with investment. That's where most guys get it wrong. They think because she laughs at their jokes or gives them a compliment that she's into them. But women do that all the time without real interest behind it. You want to know if she's really into you? You need to look deeper. Because when a woman is genuinely attracted, sexually, emotionally, mentally, it leaks out in ways she doesn't even realize. It's not about the obvious signals, it's about the patterns, the effort, the things she keeps doing when you're not even trying. That's where the truth lives, and if you learn how to spot those signs, you'll never be stuck second guessing her again. One of the most powerful signals is consistency, not the one time touch, not the flirty smile she throws you once. I'm talking about the repeated behavior that keeps showing up. Does she keep finding excuses to talk to you, even if there's nothing specific to say? Is she bringing up jokes or stories you forgot about just to reopen the door? That's not random. That means you stuck in her mind. It means she replayed the conversation when you weren't around, and that kind of mental real estate is gold. Now, pay close attention to the small excuses she creates to stay connected. Maybe she sends a meme, tags you in something online, asks your opinion on some random topic. None of those things matter on the surface, but what they're doing is keeping the thread alive. She's signaling, hey, don't forget I exist. Why? Because when a woman is sexually attracted to a man, she doesn't want that connection to go cold. In a world where people ghost each other after one date, if she's constantly circling back to you, that's real heat. Watch how she reacts when you pull back. If you suddenly take longer to reply or you become a bit more unavailable, how does she respond? If she starts texting more, playfully teasing, or even acting a little irritated in a flirty way, that's not her being moody. That's her feeling your absence. That's when you know you've crossed the line from just being another guy to being someone she's craving. And craving is what creates obsession. It's the tension, the gaps, the unanswered messages that make her mind spiral. Because if she didn't care, she wouldn't notice you pulling back. But if she starts chasing you even slightly, that's where the game flips. Now, let's talk compliance. Not in a controlling way. This isn't about dominance. This is about how naturally she starts going along with your suggestions. You say, let's sit over here, and she follows without hesitation. You mention a new place you've been meaning to try, and she lights up. That's compliance rooted in attraction. When a woman feels drawn to you, she shifts into a receptive mode. Her energy syncs with yours. She starts trusting your lead, matching your vibe, flowing with your rhythm. And that only happens when her attraction isn't just physical, it's psychological. She doesn't even realize she's doing it, but it's her way of saying, I like where this could go. Keep leading. Jealousy. This one's tricky, but insanely revealing. If she gets quiet when other women are around, if she suddenly seems colder, distracted, or throws a sarcastic jab like, wow, you've got a lot of fans, huh? That's not random. That's emotional investment. That's her trying to regain control of something that feels like it's slipping. When a woman wants to be the one you're focused on, even tiny shifts in your attention can trigger her protective instincts. It's not always verbal. Sometimes it's in the way she shifts her body, crosses her arms, avoids eye contact for a second. Jealousy is subtle, but when you know what to look for, it's obvious. It means she's starting to care about who you give your energy to. Here's something most guys never pick up on. Silence. Not awkward silence. Comfortable silence. A woman who's into you won't feel the need to fill every second with noise. If you're just sitting there and she's relaxed, leaning in, looking at you between soft glances, that's intimacy. That's chemistry without effort. And it's rare, because women who aren't interested will try to keep a safe distance with words, jokes, or distractions. But if she's quiet and present, that means she feels safe around you. That's her body telling her, this is okay. Stay here. And those moments where nothing's said, but everything is felt, that's where attraction becomes desire. Now let's level up. Let's talk about psychological anchoring. This is next level stuff, and most men never use it because they don't even know what's happening. When you create a unique emotional experience that she only associates with you, Something that hits deep, that's when you become unforgettable. Maybe it's a specific song you play when you're with her. Maybe it's the way you describe a dream or a shared inside joke that no one else gets. Whatever it is, it becomes an anchor, a link between you and a feeling she wants to return to. And once you've anchored her emotionally, even your absence becomes a presence. She sees something random and thinks of you. She hears a phrase and remembers your voice. That's how obsession is born, not through force, but through connection. Let me take it even deeper. If you want her hooked on a soul level, you need to give her something she doesn't get from other men. Emotional contrast. Most guys are one note, either too nice and predictable or too cold and distant. But the men who create obsession are the ones who make her feel a range. Make her laugh, then make her pause. Be playful, then suddenly serious and focused. Show depth. When a woman feels like you're a story with layers, someone she hasn't fully figured out, it drives her wild. Why? Because mystery plus emotion equals addiction. She'll keep coming back, trying to unlock the next part of you. And with every emotional spike, you become harder to forget. There's also something powerful about selective vulnerability. Not dumping your problems on her, but letting her see moments where you're real, where your mask drops for a second. When a guy who's usually confident lets a flicker of pain show or shares something personal without being needy, it creates emotional gravity. It makes her feel chosen, like she's seeing a side of you no one else gets. That creates intimacy fast, and intimacy mixed with tension is what fuels obsession. But here's the final piece, the part that makes it all stick. Unpredictability. Not in a chaotic way, in a dynamic way. You want her to feel like every time she interacts with you, something new might happen. Not randomness, just range. One day you're philosophical, the next hilarious. Sometimes intense, sometimes chill. Keep her emotionally engaged, because what she can predict she'll eventually take for granted. But when every encounter with you is an experience, something she can't get anywhere else, you become irreplaceable. Now listen closely. If you master this dynamic, if you combine presence, contrast, mystery, and anchored emotional spikes, you'll never have to chase again. She'll think about you when she wakes up. She'll replay your words when she's alone. She'll start watching your stories just to feel closer to you. That's when obsession takes root. Not because you begged for her attention, but because you gave her something rare. Depth, awareness, unpredictability, and a spark no one else ignites in her. And that's what most men never realize. Attraction isn't about tricks. It's not about fake confidence or memorized lines. It's about creating a feeling, one she wants to revisit over and over. One that makes her check her phone wondering if you've messaged back. One that keeps her comparing every other guy to you. That's not just attraction. That's dominance. Emotional, mental, and psychological. And the best part? Once you know how to do this, you don't have to chase love. You become the experience that women chase. In the next video, we'll break down the subtle psychological signals that instantly trigger emotional attraction. So if you're done with the games, the waiting, the confusion, hit subscribe so you don't miss it.